Are the bad guys winning? Are we being conditioned to think in a different way, to think in a negative way instead of a positive way? Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. Today is Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. So we're being conditioned to a different way of thinking. At least that seems to be the case. So my question coming into this is, are the bad guys winning? Are the bad guys winning? Are they conditioning us? Are we being conditioned to believing that the bad guys are the winners and the good guys are just hopeless victims? This past week, I ended up watching more television than I usually do, and by the end of the week, I found myself coming away from my TV feeling very disturbed. The mindset of the TV producers out there seems to be changing. The storylines are being twisted. So just as the good guys seem to be about to win the day, the bad guys flip the script and the story ends with the bad guys getting away with their crimes against humanity. The bad guys getting away with it. What's up with that? Please click on the thumbs up button below. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions. So if you're viewing this live on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021 at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, please use the chat box on the right side of the screen. Otherwise, if you're viewing this at any other time, you're in replay mode, so please use the comment section below this video. Okay, back to work. People turn to entertainment to escape the harshness we face in real life. At least that used to be the case. It always seems to be that even though things were not going that great in real life, at least we could turn on the TV and escape into something amusing or uplifting or emotionally soothing. But nowadays, we seem to be confronted by bad news, and more bad news. We be confronted about the negativity that surrounds us. I've heard our 24-hour news cycle being referred to as violence porn or the shriek-o-meter. Physical violence, death, deception, theft, fraud, corruption, exploitation, sexual abuse, sexual harassment, rape, and generally bad behavior seem to be the order of the day. It's all around us. Our entertainment media seems to be following suit. Entertainment. Feel-good stories seem to be passé. They're not there anymore. It's like nobody wants to see those anymore. They're being reduced in volume. It's the bad ones that keep coming up. I mean, the good ones are still there. There's some good ones. There's some nice ones. But what we're experiencing instead in the world of entertainment is an overload of terror and pain and torture, blatant sex, abuse, misuse, corruption, rivers of blood, rape, murder, zombies, soul snatching, and hour after hour after hour of horror. Even spirituality is being perverted to the point that it's a tool of manipulation and abuse. Use black magic and demons and satanic rituals. It's beginning to appear that being kind, considerate, generous, loving, peaceful and honest, and truly spiritual are being relegated to the world of fairy tales. And fairy tales are for children. Some may say, lighten up, Andrew, it's only entertainment. Everybody knows that it's not real. Well, I'll tell you what, whoever thinks that this is not real, whoever thinks that it does not have an effect, has no idea of how powerful TV and movies are. They are so powerful that they are changing the consciousness of the people. Violence, not negotiation, is being seen as a way to settle disagreements nowadays. The streets of Miami are awash with rebellion and ruckus and swinging fists. That wasn't always the case. Shopping malls and restaurants and places like Chuck E. Cheese are scandalized by groups of adults physically battling each other in on video in mass battles. It's free for alls in Chuck E. Cheese. And the United States Senate, what about that? The United States Senate has devolved from a deliberative body into a body of disdain and insult and disrespect, where the ability to ridicule your opponent is applauded over your ability to formulate legislation. Hate crimes are on the rise. Disagreements are being settled by bullets instead of words. Some cities are seeing an increase in crime over 50%. Is it too far a reach for me to look at what our communication and entertainment media are feeding us on a daily basis? I don't think so. You know, according to a large number of studies done on the effects that television watching has, there is unanimous agreement that television is one of the most effective hypnotic tools out there. It can have a huge influence on the way you think. It can have a huge influence on your beliefs. It can have a huge influence on the way your life turns out. Why? Because your subconscious mind, which carries all your memories and beliefs and makes you who you are, your subconscious mind is directly programmed by watching television. Directly. So how does it work? Well, within seconds of your beginning to watch TV, your mind slips into a hypnotic trance state. The belief is that the extremely rapid flicker of the screen has the hypnotic effect. Also, all the action takes place in this little screen in front of your face, so your head is locked into a stationary position. You don't look around following the action. It's all right there in your locked state. And that flicker is getting you. So your brain waves, as a result, are lowered out of the beta state, which is the conscious state where you're most alert and awake. Remember last week I showed you that the beta frequencies, 14 to 30, are the frequencies where your brain has the highest level of concentration and alertness and problem solving and improved memory? Okay. So when the brain moves from that into a lower frequency from the beta state, it slips into the alpha state. Now last week I showed you that the alpha state, the alpha frequencies are 8 to 13 cycles per second and are the lower vibrations commonly associated with dreams, creative imagination, meditation, and deep relaxation. It is in that state that you are most open to suggestion. You know, we want to use that state of mind for meditation. That's what we worked on last week. In meditation, we can work to begin to achieve a state of peace because we're in that creative, open mind state. And when you're able to access a level of peace, your body changes, your thinking patterns change, your resilience increases, and your electromagnetic field gets stronger. Yeah, and the people around you can feel the difference. But what we don't want is for our minds to be reprogrammed by negative influence, and that's what's happening with this TV. Because under the alpha state of trance, your subconscious mind becomes highly suggestible. And whatever information you receive from the TV becomes part of your memory pool. That's why we're strongly encouraged to turn off the TV when we're sleeping. Because when we're asleep, our mind is wide open for all kinds of ugly input. So my concern is that with so much ugly and frightening programming on TV, our anxiety levels are going to go through the roof, which makes meditation and getting to that quiet peace more and more difficult. And higher anxiety levels lead to chronic stress. And as we all know, chronic stress creates a cocktail of chemicals in your body that can destroy your body. with illnesses like hypertension or heart disease or ulcers or headaches or diabetes, irritation. As a point of comparison, studies have shown that people who take steroids can sometimes become the victims of what is known as roid rage. Steroid rage. That means that mentally and emotionally they're on such a short fuse because of the chemical reaction of the steroids in their body that they can suddenly explode into anger and violence at the slightest provocation. And there are story after story of steroid users, especially in the athletic world and cage fighting and all that, where suddenly the user turns on their spouse. They click, something clicks, they turn around and they start beating their spouse so badly they end up in the hospital. Check it out. Roid rage. So I invite you to consider this. This is the possibility. People who are exposed to the constant negativity of television programming may begin to suffer from a higher anxiety level and irritability almost as bad as roid rage syndrome. That's right. Roid rage can be TV rage, negative TV rage. So let's try an observational experiment. Next time you spend an evening looking at TV and exposing yourself to all that negative programming, check out the following. Did you sleep well that night? Were you warm and pleasant the next day, or were you a walking time bomb waiting for somebody, anybody, to push your button so you could explode all over them? Negative TV programming, it's there. It's dangerous. Remember this, we are in a spiritual war. Our world is being dominated and transformed into a jungle haven for our lowest drives and instincts. And it keeps sinking lower and lower and lower each day. Okay, this negativity is not going to be turned around by our physical action. That's not what it's about. We're going to have to reach much higher than that to our real power in order to save ourselves in the world. We got to reach deep within ourselves and tap into our massive spiritual powers to override this depravity and corruption that surrounds us. We're working to gain control of our minds. That's what spiritual warriors do. We're working to gain control of our minds. We're working to elevate our consciousness. So we must resist and overcome what the powerful media tools of the power brokers are doing to us. We cannot afford to allow ourselves or our consciousness to fall into the hands of those who want to frighten us or manipulate us or recondition us to do what they want to do. Remember, we are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. We are spiritual warriors. We have control of ourselves. We have control of our minds. We have control of our hearts. We have control of our consciousness as we transform ourselves into instruments of love, peace, and harmony. We want to radiate peace, not discord. We want to radiate love, not hate or scorn or ridicule. TV movies are they're not necessarily bad in and of themselves, okay? But they are tools for those who do not have our best interest at heart. But I tell you what, if you're aware of the power of what's happening when you watch TV or when you watch a movie, then some of its power over you is diminished. It's diminished but not eliminated, but it is diminished. It is still hypnotic. It still opens your subconscious mind into an unfiltered state. But if you are aware and very conscious and deliberate about the things that you watch, television can become a tool for your expansion and your growth. The negative programming is not going to stop. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. So choose your entertainment carefully. You don't want to watch the programs that are designed to program you with negativity, with the wrong ideas, with the wrong beliefs, based on fear and anger and hate and disdain and violence. You don't want your subconscious mind to start thinking that it's all right to inflict pain or to steal or to deceive. You don't want your mind going there. You know, one of my viewers, his name is Izzy the Great, summed it up beautifully. He says, it's like someone trying to convince you you're powerless. Meanwhile, you possess all of the power. They need for you to relinquish it in order to possess it because they are too weak to take it. It needs to be given in order for them to empower. It needs to be given in order for them to be empowered. Thank you, Izzy. So, remember, always keep your critical conscious mind turned on so that you are in control of you. Not somebody in the electronic world who wants to influence your thought processes. You are in control of you. You are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. You are a spiritual warrior. You. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing all of us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work that we have come here to do. Thank you, infinite intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your part of your afternoon with me. Remember to click on the thumbs up button below the screen. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Since this is the end of the broadcast, you can put them in the comments section below the video. If you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe with the little button there in the corner. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Remember, you are in control. You have the power. I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this has been On the Wings of Your Mind.